Hello, lovely ones. How are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. This is Rosanna here, channeling some rosy glow for you with a little update. I just wanted to check in with you because basically there's been a lot going on. If you've been observing what I've been going through, you'll notice that there's a lot of pink around, there's a lot of peacocks around, there's a lot of red, a lot of purple. And this is all about integrating compassion, and something I wanted to talk about, though I may have actually let go of my notes on that. It's really an important time, and I do just want to thank everybody for your support, for everyone who signs up, who subscribes to this channel. You're signing up to being a co-creator of your reality, and what I do my best to do for you all is to demystify some of the information that's out there, whether it's energy updates, whether it's astrological updates, whether it's things you're hearing from different spiritual teachers that are difficult to make sense of and interpret in your daily life. That's the bridge that I kind of work with and support, the language that for many of you would be difficult to comprehend, to make sense in our physical reality. I know through working with people around me that we're all here to fulfill a specific task. We all have our own part in the chain, and I want to just pick up this beautiful necklace that one of my lovely clients shared with me, gifted me, which looks to me like the symbol of the central cosmic sun, which is what we're all aligning with. Now, I must say that it can get really tricky to understand all of these terms. We're talking about galaxies, we're talking about universes, we're talking about central suns, cosmic central suns, and I'm not going to pretend that I understand all of it. I think we try to understand in order to feel safe. And the essential thing for us all to grasp is that we are light beings. We are humans. We are here to bring more light into our bodies and to live as our higher selves rather than our lower selves. So the long and short of it is we're moving out of a duality consciousness based on struggle, based on hard work, based on there being good and being bad, into a place where we are actually unifying our consciousness and recognizing that there are so many different perspectives to the very same thing, that to judge it as good or bad would limit our power and our capacity to create constantly an experience that is positive out of something that seems challenging. We're all at different stages of our evolution here as souls on this planet, and what I talk about is the fact that we're lining up with the ascending earth paradigm. So those of us who are choosing to be conscious co-creators are co-creating a new earth paradigm. And it's going to affect everybody, because the divide is really, do you want to continue to live through your mental faculties and only believe what your brain can understand and can understand through the 5 senses that we're used to working with? And therefore you are going to be wired to survive rather than to thrive, and so seeing through eyes of fear rather than eyes of love, which will always invite protection mechanisms, defense mechanisms, the need to keep yourself safe no matter what, with the implication that there is a threat. And as a result of that, you're staying in the struggle paradigm. That's one option. Okay, and the other is that we're learning to co-create, to own the fact that somehow we are participating consciously or unconsciously in everything that's going on in our lives. And as a result of that, we're learning to become more conscious in our participation and to observe the miscreations, the things that don't seem to align with the desire to thrive. And as a result of that, to really find ourselves undoing. So you undo what isn't aligned with where you want to go. You unstitch and restitch it in alignment with your divine truth and with the belief that you are powerful, all powerful as we all are, and therefore you can choose to co-create experiences that are graceful and easy and positive, and you can co-create a vision of a new earth that actually you would like to be a part of, rather than constantly arguing for the fact that things can't change, that people are always going to be evil or bad, and there's always going to be this play of light and dark. That is true, it's going to exist somewhere, but it doesn't have to exist in your world. So the invitation through Rosy Glow, which is the frequency of divine grace, which allows us to let go easily of what no longer serves us through the power of revelation, and therefore opens us up to the gifts that are already there that we don't realize are there. And most of the people that I work with feel like they're prisoners in a situation that they're in, without realizing that the prison cell door is either open or the lid of the box is open. and it is up to them to step out of it. But usually fear is going to prevent us from stepping forward. And it is the fear that we are all massively releasing at this time. So we've been in this corridor. We started about 3 months ago in June with the pre-eclipse season. And then come at the beginning of July, we started with the lunar and the solar eclipses. Eclipses are times of drastic change. They're going to sweep out of your life the things that aren't serving you anymore and put you on track with that which is most aligned with your divine purpose, if that is what you want to align with. So whether you're choosing to keep growing through struggle or to open up to growing through love, through the power of love, through seeking resolution and healing and forgiveness and utilizing the principles of compassion, which are Christ's teachings, you're basically, going to keep encountering opportunities to change the path you're on. Okay, this works both ways. As you're encountering your power as a co-creator, every time you encounter a trigger for an old way of seeing life, you're going to have to make a choice to see things the new way and to reaffirm the new way, i.e. life loves me, life wants me to be happy, I am always co-creating the win-win-win in everything. The better it gets, the better it gets. This is all part of the ascension path. But when you are affirming those things and something negative happens, like you crash your car or an injury occurs or something supposedly, tragic happens around you, it's very easy to get into doubting that new reality. And yet you will be invited again and again as a conscious co-creator to keep affirming your new reality and to clear the erroneous beliefs that stand in the way of that, which is why deprogramming and reprogramming are essential around the subconscious. And that's what I do as a multidimensional coach. There are other people who do it as well. There are slower and faster paths. But if you really want to ascend as a co-creator, you want to definitely do that bit. Don't miss out on it. It's the greatest gift you could give yourself and humanity. On the other side of things, if you are in the struggle paradigm and the worse it gets, and there's doom and gloom everywhere, every time something good happens, someone reaches out, gives you a hand, you are being given the opportunity to step out of what you're used to into something new. But only you can make that choice, and that will continue. So there is a world split going on. It's kind of seeming like it's coexisting on the same planet, but it isn't, because what's going to happen is our consciousness grows and evolves, is there will literally be a version of this planet that is thriving, and there'll be a version of this planet that isn't thriving. But more than that is that those who choose to continue to struggle and to stay in the struggle paradigm will eventually die off. And when they are to be reborn to grow their souls, they won't be doing it on this planet. So this planet is going to keep affirming the better it gets, the better it gets. How can I say this when Boris Johnson is Prime Minister in the UK and who's the one that's in America? I always forget his name, but yeah, you know the one. They look like brothers, basically. How can I say it when these people are ruling super states, essentially? And the way I can say it, welcome those who are joining, is because what they're doing is dismantling a system of global socialism, very thinly disguised, a system and a plan for global socialism, which, whether they're actually good guys or not doesn't matter. They're not playing ball with the intention to create a one world state, which I remember hearing about when I was at university, so 20 years ago. And, you know, Agenda 21, Agenda 30, they clearly put it in print that this is the intention. Creating a sustainable future really involves medicalizing people to fuck, sorry for swearing, and also, controlling everything that they're exposed to. So this is the path of the automatron. This is the path of the hive mind, which is what was intended for this earth by the powers that be that are not the powers of light. And yet those who are supposedly the bad guys are stepping in and they're dismantling this system so that we can all learn to be autonomous beings, divine sparks, individual consciousness of the divine consciousness, individual expression of that divine consciousness, living as a vibration. And as birds of a feather flock together, this living as a vibration is then about coming together with others that are seeking that same vibrationary feeling. For me, it's grace and ease, co-creating this planet with grace and ease. And as a result of that, co-creating a new earth paradigm where we are empowered to live consciously and to have free will and to utilize that free will to create something loving and beautiful. So it's the connection of consciousness and compassion, which is the Christ consciousness path as I understand it. So the second coming is all of us. I have a lot of Christian friends. I personally, although I was baptized Greek Orthodox, I'm not a practicing Christian, a very strong connection to ascended masters, including Christ. So for me, this is how I understand it. This is how I resonate. I believe we are all divine humans in training, or ascended masters in training, and we are learning to live on this earth as divine humans, to take our desire, the things we long for, the things we want most, and to invite source consciousness. So you kind of move forward with the intention of co-creating the things that you most desire in your heart, knowing that you're always intending, because you're affirming it through the power of your I am superconscious, that you're intending the win-win-win in everything and the highest good of all. When we move forward following our desires in that way, and we're not like, I want this no matter what, whatever it costs anyone else. You say, right, this is what I really feel like I want to pursue in my life. I'm going to hand it over. And this is what this full moon has all been about. It's just passed. It's about letting go of control and surrendering to the highest path. Now, that's easy when life's going easy. When you have difficult things happen, which I've noticed so many people have had over the Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal was the 8th of August till the 12th. My birthday's the 12th, right? And then we entered into the new crystalline transmissions on the 13th. And when I talk to my clients and I speak to people around me, there was a lot of people having a very tough day on the 12th, and followed by the 13th also creating some big shifts. There were also major occurrences going on the 8th, the 7th and the 8th in preparation for the Lionsgate. Now, what is the Lionsgate portal? It's relevant to what I'm saying in terms of the Christ consciousness, because it is said it happens every year. And what happens is the star constellation Sirius aligns with our planet and creates a corridor, an energetic corridor of consciousness, which is like aligning with heaven's gates. So if we move into the idea that heaven is beyond a place that you only ever go to once and never return to, how about the idea that heaven is home? It's where we all originate from. We originate from love. It is source. And we take temporary journeys out of it and we return back. And that might also mean temporary journeys to other constellations where we learn about, the Pleiades, Orion. There's lots of other constellations and galaxies. And, again, my brain gets confused with it. So just opening to these ideas that when heaven's gates are aligned with earth, there's a downpouring of heavenly energy. And this was coming through as diamond white light, monadic diamond white light. Now, what is a monad? If you think of pure undifferentiated source as God, as love, and then you have a differentiation of something called the Council of 12, which is 12 different rays of consciousness, all symbolizing Christ consciousness in their unified form. And then this is split into, those are each monads that then get filtered down. So there's a divine hierarchy, there's a divine architecture. Welcome those who are joining. And we're just starting to grasp this. We're just starting to come to understand this in a way where we're not just going blasphemy, blasphemy everywhere. And we're saying, okay, let me understand beyond what I've learned so far. There are all of these tools. There's religion, there's yoga, there's spirituality, there's healing modalities that are all teaching us about what is beyond what our five senses know. And till now, there's always been like an intermediary, a middleman or woman between us and source. And what we're learning is we are source. We are the embodiment of source. We can activate our source, our divine consciousness through tapping into our heart. But we all, first of all, have to make the journey from the head to the heart. Now, if that's new for you, check out my course, Co-Creation Success, because it's all about understanding how the brain and our consciousness is relating with our reality, okay? Our physical experience of life. Now, once you've made that drop into your heart to trust your heart, You understand that the experiences you encounter whilst you allow your soul to take control, which was the intention 2 months ago, full moon in Gemini. You're going to encounter the things that you most need to deal with, you most need to process, to come to terms with, to understand differently, which may cause pain, emotional, psychological, or physical pain, in order to get aligned fully with your divine desires. So in that drop down, it's the descend into the heart to ascend. And this is then when we move into this space where we are able to move out of the individual ego brain, ego mind, collapsing that into the truth of the heart and the superconscious, and then to access divine mind, the collective consciousness that is the superconscious we can all tap into, rather than the fear-based consciousness that we all tap into if we're just living our lives and we've not tuned in. So I talk about something called divine architecture, which is simply activating your core lines. It's something I do through all of my coaching work. I love simplifying things because I find the mind really just wants to understand, to feel safe. And if you do work with the mind a bit, which is co-creation success, then it feels safer to explore new things. Then what you want to do is just simplify your daily practices so you can be tuned in all of the time and notice when you're not tuned in. And that is exactly what I offer through Fearless, Empowered and Free to Be Me and the Conceive with Ease program, which is designed for parents to be who want to parent consciously or having challenges conceiving. And I know that is because they're bringing in star seeds, highly evolved humans, or highly evolved souls, I should say, that are coming here to activate the divine human coding in the bloodlines that are seeking them to come. So, this brings a lot of things in together, because anyone who's interested in my work, I would recognize as a starseed and as an emotional empath, seeking to feel as though they can live on this planet and not be blown about by all of the stuff that's happening all of the time. But in order to do that, we need the tools. We need to understand the cosmic climate, and we also need to understand how we can be most integrated, most centered, most grounded through this. So the journey is moving from light warrior to co-creator, conscious co-creator. And that is what the last 3 months have really been about. It's also what all of the planets being retrograde in July, we had 6 planets retrograde in July, was all about. Kind of like looking at your tapestry of life and then going, all right, which bits of this are not congruent with what I actually want to do, which is to be a co-creator of my reality. The bits that are not congruent, you have to unstitch, which can feel like you're going backwards. It can feel like you're regressing. But actually what you're doing is you're taking that step back in order to make sure that everything that is important to you, that you feel you are here to experience, to achieve, to succeed in, to enjoy, is aligned with the divine, your divine self. So one of the things I talk about in my coaching programs is that you are going to be most of the time taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And that is the reinforcing stitch that allows you to go over old ground, but with a new perspective, and to keep anchoring that new perspective so that the change is sustainable and it's constant. Other times, like July, which has just passed, it is so much more, it feels so much more like we're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, but we're really not. So being patient with yourself is so important. This morning, I woke up exhausted. I tell you no lie, this week has floored me. Like, I had the most amazing year of my life, turning 40 last August the 12th, and this year I turned 41. I had a year of prayers, and I'm going to read you the last prayer of the daily prayers that I was doing in the series, because they're all codes for living consciously as co-creators. But basically, without realizing it, I logged my journey from being less conscious to being fully conscious in what I'm co-creating, and unblocking issues as they come along through these prayers, these daily prayers. So they were for my clients, but they were also for my team, and they were for anybody that actually wanted to step more into this path of thriving rather than surviving. And now I find myself in a place where I'm like, okay, there is this sense of not being in control. All of the things that I planned for, I've achieved so much of it last year. What's now? And it is the sharing of the mastery with others. It is being able to support others with their blind spots. So if any of you are in a place where you're still wondering what your life purpose is, remember your life purpose is to be able to sustain yourself in this physical reality by doing things you love doing, so that you are able to earn whatever you need to be able to create the world around you. So in our world today, it's money, but it could be something else in the future, cryptocurrency, for example, that you can easily co-create, you can bring into your life in the form of gratitude, because that's what it is. It's a currency of gratitude. For now, it's money, but it could be crypto, it could be diamonds, it could be anything you like in the future. The point is there's always going to be an exchange, because I have one thing, you have another. How are we going to make this work? Do we have a middleman, which is a fiat economy, which could be money or something else? Or is it just a direct exchange of energy? Until we really learn to value our energy, like to value our worth, we will need something to measure it against. So this is an important point, especially if you have issues with money. One of the things I will be working on in the next year is something called divine prosperity, and supporting those of you who are therapists, yoga teachers, light workers, conscious beings that actually have a negative relationship with money and are seeking to be in service to the planet, but actually are not serving yourselves enough. You're not giving yourselves what you need to have the energy to serve from the highest place, because I'm seeing that this is a big block in energetic flow. And it's important to remember, if you don't know, I am a fertility expert, so I work a lot with unblocking issues, that sexual energy, creative energy, fertile energy are the same thing. If you have a block in your health, in your love life, in your finances, all of this is going to be relating to worthiness, to deserving, to allowing yourself to have what you need without feeling it's bad. And most of us have terrible, terrible associations with money, just because of the fact that we were conditioned to believe it's a bad thing, because a lot of bad things have been done with it in this material world. But for now, remember what the point of those 6 points going retrograde was all about, was for us to uncover where we are not congruent with what we want. So anything you say after the words I am are basically going to be words that you then empower. So if you say I'm always late, you're creating more of that in your future. If you say, I'm always doing my best, you are co-creating the self-belief and the trust that actually whatever you're doing, however others take it, you are coming from the best place you can. What I believe this full moon was all about, and this new moon sort of corridor, if you like, it's about letting go of this root ego belief, which is based on how we get programmed from early in life, that anything that happens in life that isn't good is your fault, okay? When I say isn't good, it looks like it's negative. Either you've got hurt or someone else has got hurt, or it seems as though bad things happen. What is important, and it's simple to grasp, is that the way we see the world is programmed from our time in the world, in the womb, and the first 6 years of life. And forgive me if you've heard this before, but if you can imagine a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 1-year-old or a 6-year-old making decisions about how you're going to perceive your life for the rest of your life, you would think twice about listening to them. But what we have to remember in our understanding of being multidimensional beings of love and light is that on the one hand, everything is happening because of us, our involvement, but on the other hand, there are other interplays. There are 7.7 billion people on this planet, right? So everybody is the center of their universe and their world, and therefore we are influencing each other. Critical mass is all about when enough beings on this planet reach a state of consciousness. It's actually the state of consciousness that's important. It's much less about the amount of people, but it's how quickly we get to that place of a higher state of consciousness, which is to recognize our capacity to co-create our reality and to learn how to do it consciously. This is when we override all of the early programming. But that real kneecapper, Achilles heel, the one that trips us up again and again, is this belief that everything's my fault. We tend to own it for supposedly negative experiences, but we don't own it for positive experiences. So if suddenly something wonderful happens in your life, you go, wow, I did that. Yeah, check me out. This is because of me. Usually not. We'll usually give the power to something outside of us. Oh, it was a coincidence. Oh, I was just lucky. We don't understand our play in it. And that is the journey of a soul, to move from lacking in consciousness, not understanding how they're interrelating in the world, to actually learning how the rules of the game and how to play it. And that's the game of life. So that's what we're here for, to be conscious co-creators, to co-create a paradise planet, to make this the best place it can be. And that is what learning in the physical world, like when you are in non-physical, you can co-create through thought all of the time. But it's not physical what you're creating. You can see it, but it's non-physical. We are having a physical experience of our co-creations here, so there is a time lag as well. So remember, if you're having a tough time, what you're living out today is the result of what happened yesterday. And what is happening tomorrow is the result of what you've seeded today. So keep your focus on the positivity. This is where I'm going to share with you the poem or the prayer, because I believe that this will just say what needs to happen. And if you are interested in learning more about all of this, I would strongly invite you to come along to my retreat at the end of September in Henfield, which is really near Brighton. It's called a self-celebration retreat. It's going to be coming with the new moon. We've got my lovely partner, Ian, who's going to be offering a workshop for the guys called Too Tough to Break. And it's really for men who don't do men's groups or who are used to a certain format in men's groups and want to explore things from a different angle, because there really is a place for responding from fear, as I've learned as well. Like, fear is to actually help us to move out of a life-threatening situation. The issue is, unfortunately, that we perceive danger where it isn't due to our conditioning. And this is where we overreact with fear most of the time. But at times, it is essential. And I will be offering a workshop on using our sexual energy to create with and understanding what that actually means. And we're also going to be offering a divine prosperity workshop and a self-love workshop, so loving yourself through loss. Now, 2 of the people offering workshops are 2 of my star clients, people who've been working with me for a long time, that have evolved to a place of teaching what they have learned. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be loads of yoga, lovely food, an amazing party on the Saturday night, 27th to the 29th September. Rosy Glow retreats, but you can check that out through rosyglow.com as well. Please let us know if you'd like to come ASAP. And if you want to do a payment plan, you can split the cost over August and September if you act promptly. But now let's do this prayer. Good afternoon, diamonds. Oh my, what a year when a vision becomes crystal clear. Through patient effort, commitment and trust, a whole new world starts opening up. What is it that you wish to see? It's time to start co-creating that reality. Yes, of course, things will start coming up to test your focus and align your overflowing cup with the highest good of all that is, the fundamental foundation of all good things. Once we intend the win-win-win, an accidental alignment does begin. That may initially throw your old world into a spin as the new one's construction gets into full swing. To experience joy in this process of transmutation, invite grace and ease in and know they have accepted the invitation. I am welcoming every part of my awakening. I am safe to express in all ways. I am my best champion when the going gets tough. I am always an overflowing cup. I am choosing what I fill myself up with. I am that I am. So if you like that, that is basically just a synopsis of 12 months worth of prayers, one prayer a day. And it is this path of the co-creator, which is what this channel is about. And if you would like just a quick little exercise for being able to access your midline, so to let go of control, to let go of the ego being in control, you have to feel safe in you. And the only way you can feel safe in you that I've learned is to plug in to the ascending earth and all of the support that's available to us through Heaven's Gate, through home, through the Sirian constellation, our cosmic central sun. So here's what we do. Rub your hands together. have a little shake. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take a moment to acknowledge your superconscious. I'll just ask you to repeat a few words after me, and then I'll just take you through a down and up, and you'll see what I mean. Taking a deep breath in. Long breath out, send it down through your body into your earth chakra just below the surface of the earth. Awaken an awareness of your connection to the crystalline grid, which is like the flower of life formation all around the planet. Repeat after me. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I am a co-creator of my reality. I am the source of my creations. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am free. I am aligning with Earth's ascension timeline. I am co-creating the win-win-win in everything. I am co-creating with grace and ease. I am co-creating my personal paradise. I am co-creating the highest good of all. I am divine prosperity. I am divine flow. I am divine love. I am divine wisdom. I am divine intent. I am that I am. Take a deep breath in. Send your breath all the way down through your earth chakra into the center of the earth. Feel that breath spread through the earth, around the crystalline grid, so it fires up the crystalline grid, and then breathe in and pull that energy back up through your earth chakra, up through your body, up through your heart, and out through the crown of your head, and just send it up through the crown of your head, up through your soul chakra. I'm just going to get these in the right order. Up through your soul star, stellar gateway, the universal gateway, and then all the way up to the cosmic gateway. So opening heaven's gates, connecting to the cosmic central sun, our Syrian sun, and bringing down all of those codes. So you will either see yourself in a sphere with a 6-pointed star within it, in the outline of your physical body glowing, and then your inner lightsaber, inner core line glowing, or you'll see a diamond shape instead of a 6-pointed star. Just do that every day. Pull it back down through you, cascading lightful love and light. Bring down the diamond, monadic, plasmic flame. So the white, it's basically, the white, diamond, monadic, plasmic flame. And the platinum ray, or the platinum flame, which these are both seeding that divine mind consciousness into us without us becoming hive mind, without us becoming automatrons. So we tune into divine mind, and we express it through our own heart's individual divinity, divine expression. And now just say, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And I bring down the golden flame as well. So this is the Christ consciousness, it's the divine masculine. It is also the yellow energy relates to Sirius. So just bring those three down, the diamond, monadic, plasmic flame of white light, love light even, platinum flame, and the golden flame. And that should really support you through these changes. So deepen your breath, gently bring yourself back. Remember, if you want to ground, breathe through your feet. I'm using this mudra a lot just to really bring myself into that activation of heart, third eye, and connection all the way up and down. Right, I better go because I've got a client now. I send you loads of love. Take care. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Please share with others. You make my day, and I'm here to support this transition. So let's keep going. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. You'd like to purchase the full moon meditation. I did that yesterday. The energies are pretty intense. If you want the upgrade, I always do upgrades with the new moon that are free on this channel. The full moon is a deeper healing, which is paid for. But this is basically something that you can purchase through my website. So you could go to rosieglow.com and you can pay for the full moon meditation that occurred yesterday, and that will be sent out to you as a link, okay? Lots of love for now. Take care. Bye-bye.